Hi everyone, this is Kel once again. Today, 24th of November, Wednesday. Today, a bit of changes here because I need to get some stuff moving on. So I'm going to have my MAO recorded, and then later on during the initial jobless claim, just put your numbers in the comment box. Sorry, but you have to do it before 12 p.m. today so that we have a cutoff time over there. Okay? Alright. Now, market sells and recovers. This is crazy, guys. The market was down by almost 300 points at one stage. And then it recovers and it went up and closed positive. This is the market erraticness that's going on right now. And of course, this is all because of the very mixed signal that the Federal Reserve is probably giving to people. So we do expect that there'll be more incredible volatility ahead. And of course, we have a lot of problems happening in Turkey. We have the crude oil prices is going crazy. It was down, then it was up again because there was people being concerned for the factor of the crude oil prices staying down. And of course, we have more problems happening in Europe. And of course, Jeremy Siegel says that inflation is just around the corner. And of course, interest rate hike must be done. Alright, so there are more details coming up. Alright, let's continue then. Alright, so disclaimer as usual, please understand this. My job is to share stuff with you. Your job is to make sure that you do your risk assessment. Now, the joke of the day, you can see that this is definitely Jerome Powell. And this Thanksgiving at the Federal Reserve is all the clowns. Trying to explain here yourself. The clowns are having their meals, okay, the Thanksgiving meal. And of course, surrounding Jerome Powell seemingly are the clowns. This is what I'm trying to say. And of course, if you can guess this lady, who is that, okay, you should know that who, where, earrings and stuff like that. This could be fun, right? So all I can say is, guys, that if Federal Reserve is continue what they're doing right now, they're going to pay the price, and we've seen it before during the Alan Greenspan time. And I believe that this time around it will happen to Jerome Powell. All right, let's see how the inflation works. Now, for me as well, right, yesterday I gave a pretty decent call. I said that the Dow Jones will fall. Now, the Dow Jones was at 35,606 level, and I mentioned that the Dow will go down lower. And of course, what happened? You can see that the Dow really came down all the way. Alright, from 35,606, it went down to 35,467. Now, if you look backward, there is this figure here. 35,467 is a technical level based on our TWB system. And of course, did the market go there? Exactly. The market went all the way there, 35,467, bottom up over there, and reverse course. So again, that is why you need to have the TWB system. Now, of course, the other thing is what my goal. My goal is, wow, that was wonderful. Now, gold price was trading at 1809, and I keep on reminding you guys, KSI is red, the boys are selling, and the blue bars have appeared on the screen, so the market will go down. And I gave a figure. I said that the gold price will go down to 1791. Now, back then was 1809. So which means that I was expecting an $18 drop. And did the gold price came down? Beautiful. Gold price from where we call at 1809, you can see on the screen right now, the gold price plunged all the way down to 1891. Beautiful. As a matter of fact, it went lower. It went lower to about 1782 level. And if you look carefully again, on the backtrack itself, right, we were looking at price to go down even to the high low of 1775. So again, I was pretty spot on for my goal, and hopefully you guys have benefited, because I know that many of my students have benefited from there itself. Now, for our Hang Seng class, we are going to open up to more people to join us from public members. So we will give you the information later this week. All right, so do invite your friends down to TWB Traders Academy. We have something interesting to share with you, so do that. Yeah. Now, of course, this is time whereby we look at today's call. Today we have core durable goods orders, GDP quarter on quarter, with the initial jobless claims and stuff like this. So today, please key your prediction. What do you think will be the initial jobless claim? What's the number do you think so will happen? Alright, so key your numbers right now into the comment box, and we will close this off at 12 noon. Okay, at 12 noon, we will have the cutoff time. So put your number. The winner will get 3.88 ADA coin. Alright, so do that yourself, right? Cool. Now, last night, the Dow Jones was pretty interesting. It was like a lot of roller coaster ride. It was up, it was down, it was up, it was down. But it was pretty flattish until about 2 p.m. or 2 a.m. 3 a.m. Singapore time. And that's where it mounted itself all the way and rallied strongly towards the closing price, okay? So if you look at it itself, right, The Dow seemingly have some feeling that it may want to go higher because of the last part rally. But of course, is this the last burst of fire? We let the chart decide, yeah? So let's look at the Dow Jones. Okay, basically the Dow climbs nearly 200 points, but Nasdaq fell because of the rising rate concern. So the Nasdaq Composite fell for the second consecutive day as higher interest rate appeared to put pressure on the high-flying tech stocks. So with this ongoing right now, with tech stocks going down because Joe Biden have selected Jerome Powell, right? Okay, so usually a higher rate will see a negative for the high growth companies because their futures earning will be less attractive, and of course the short-term yield goes up. So that was what actually happening right now. And of course, energy stocks climbs. Now, the thing is this. Joe Biden said that he will tap on the strategic petroleum reserve to lower the gas price. So technically, we're supposed to expect to see the crude oil price going down. But the moment he actually came out and talked about this, the crude oil price reversed, and that basically brought the market higher. So once again, you can see that, right? Market love to buy and sell on news and do the reverse when the news comes out. And of course, because of Jerome Powell involvement now as a Federal Reserve chief, we see that the yield went back to 1.67%. So all these tells you that, right, with Jerome Powell in the house right now, the expectation of yields going to 1.8% is going to be very, very high. And it's my personal view, and I think that it will happen. So let's look at the Dow Jones last night. Now the Dow Jones basically was incredible. It went down first, hit the technical point of 35,467 as I mentioned earlier, and reversed course all the way. Now initially it lost MLP at 35,656 and it went all the way down. And because the KSI was red in color, we do know that the market itself, right, is supposed to sell. But incredibly, when the market touches the technical point, like the KCB, it reverses course and goes up. Now, yesterday, there was no pivot for the market. So the OP is a guidance. If the market stays below OP, it's a sell. If the market stays above OP, it was a buy. And because yesterday was a doji day, we do expect a directional day. And initially, we thought the market would close down all the way. But when the market reversed, it went up. So that's why it's a switch of camp. So let's take a look intraday. The market initially went down all the way down to the KCB level at 35,467, and then that's where it bottomed out, and then it went up again. Tested OP several times until towards the last 1.5 hours, it rallies like this. Okay, so apparently the market is staying with the OP price for the longest of time before it finally make a move towards the end. Now, gold price was clearer. Gold was coming down. I already tell you guys, gold will come down, and indeed, it really came down all the way, and the low was at 1,782. Now, why is that so? Because KSI was red, blue bar was there, and of course, look at it very clearly. When the market loses the OP part, that is whereby we know that likely you go down lower. And of course, when the market tried to test the MA and it failed, we know that it will likely be going down further, which actually happened. The market went down all the way to KTR -3 before it actually bottomed out, right? But the point is this: if you have followed the rules of the engagement and short accordingly, CCYR, BMB, below OP, below pivot 1, you sell all the way. Yes, indeed, because KSI was red, so -2 to -3 is kindly possible. Some local news and global news right now: vaccinated, recovered, or dead. Now, Germany gives stuck winter warning to its people. Because why? You can see that, right, there's quite a few people who have already taken their vaccination, but the number of people falling sick is still increasing. In fact, itself for Germany is as much as more than 100,000 people falling sick on a weekly basis. As you can see right now, World Health Organization says that the COVID death could rise by 700,000 over the coming months. Okay, this is really incredible. And apparently, like Germany have more than 50,000 cases now for the 7-day averages. All right, all these are showing that this is very scary numbers. All right, and of course, Russia also recorded a 7 days high of 1,200 deaths. Okay, this is really not a very good sign. So of course, all these, despite all the vaccination being done, but the climate infection itself is getting crazy. And of course, Austria have already done the nation lockdown, which I likely will spread further down, like to Slovakia and even Germany or UK. Now, the Turkish lira crashes to insane historical low after President Erdogan. Okay, Erdogan says sparks the sell off. Now the inflation in Turkey is now at 20%. Oh my goodness. So imagine that itself, right? A cup of coffee may cost you, let's say, $2. Okay, example, it's now at $2.40. And of course, if your meat itself, like from $10 per pound, it's at $12 per pound. It's going up. But that is not just only the point. The thing is this, okay, the local currency itself, right, and the salaries are all really going down at a rapid pace, okay? And of course, you can see on the chart right now, you can see how it went down. Within a single day, it increased by another 20%. So it's not like, say, the overall 20%. It's that it was from 8.5 again the US dollar, now it's 12, so it's up down by 50%. So that is pretty bad, because it means that whatever you have been selling itself now, whatever you have now, just in the span of 2 months, 3 months, is down by 50, it's like increased by 50%. So everything is sold by 50% because your buying power have reduced by 50%. So any important market news for reference? There is. Let's take a look, guys. Now, US, I told you earlier, is looking forward to release some oil from the reserve, and they released about 15 million barrels. But of course, did the market react? Well, you can see that the market initially went down first because of the concern, but instead of going down further, now he recovered. So which means that despite the news came out saying there'll be more supply, the market actually reversed course and stay up. Why? Because the market had been selling over the last 2 weeks, and now the news is confirmed. The market say, okay, that's done with it. Let's cover back some short position, and that's where the market crude oil come back up. Now, my personal view is this: crude oil should be coming down further. I believe crude oil price should be coming down further. It should be able to come down to something like about $74 to $75, $72 here, this range. Yeah, it should be able to do that. And then when it does that itself, right, that should be able to be a good time for bottoming out buying. Yeah. So Santoli did a market analysis of what happened today, and tech overweights, heavyweights, tumble, and speculative growth stock become the deadwood. Okay, let's take a look. Yeah, it's another messy, erratic session with loads of crosswinds flowing through the market. So it's a sloppy rotation play between the financial and cyclical from the defensive mega cap growth, alright? So basically on tech shares, they move to the financial and the cyclical, because when the yields goes up, definitely financial will benefit. So it was an urgent flight from high growth, big expectation, low earnings names to all these financial counters. And of course, you can see that the S&P 500 now, so far, the broader market is trying to hold together thanks to mostly the banks and energy. The S&P 500 has not tested the first drop of a pullback. Okay, in fact itself, right, it did came below the 10-day moving average just a little bit, but it recovered almost immediately. So with that itself, right, it seems that the market is still going to continue to go higher, and the market is looking at still to close above 4,700. So, but the thing is there's some anxiety filtration coming in right now as the indicators of portfolio have the stress coming in. We see more put option hedging volumes, liquidation style action in some recent IPO, and the fintech SaaS stocks. Alright, so all I can say is this: the market breadth is very mixed, and it's not terrible, but it's 50-50. Now, we also saw that the VIX have tried to cross 20, but eventually it pulled back a bit because the market has recovered. But still, buying at 15, 16 back then was a pretty good call. Alright. Nope, sorry, there's some PowerPoint problem here. Okay, in short itself, right, Jeremy Segal says that the Federal Reserve has to really look forward to fight inflation, because if not, right, it could be serious trouble. So Jeremy Segal says that he's a Wharton finance professor. He says that the Federal Reserve have to continue to move faster, and he thinks that, right, they have to start raising interest rate by March. Now the market expect June, July. So to raise it by March itself, right, meaning that they have to reduce increase the tapering faster, so for them to reach this point. And I kind of suspect that it may do that. I suspect that the next time itself, right, they may reduce it. They may reduce the tapering to by $25 billion, because that will increase the speed, and they have more time to react for interest rate. So you can see over here as well, right, as I mentioned to you, that the US government bonds 10-year yield should be able to hit 1.8%. Now, I already said that it will likely be hitting there because all along since September, it bottomed out beautifully, and then recently in October, November period, it done it again. So all this tells you that likely it will be hitting the 1.8% in the near term. All right. And of course, yesterday and the day before, I told you guys likely on Monday and Tuesday, there should be some form of pullback, which you can see that it happened. But on Tuesday, after a pullback itself, right, there should be some recovery, and it really happened. Now for today's market, right, based on seasonal pattern, we should see a positive closing. So let's see whether the seasonal pattern do stand, and if you actually follow what I just said, you may know what to do for today. Yep. Alright, so let's look at the VIX itself. VIX went up to the 20.87 level, and then it pulled back to close at 19.38. Still going up itself. I believe that the resistance will be at 22, to 24 level, and if that happens, it'll be a good time to take profit, guys. So do remember that. Okay, so it's a quick one for today. Let's just look at the charts so that we can know what to look out for in the market. Yeah, let's go. Now, for China market, it's not open yet, but you can see for the third day in a row, the Chinese market hit the MA30 and rejected. Hit the MA30, rejected, hit the MA30 and rejected. So it's very clear that MA30 is posing a very strong conviction that there could be more downside to go, yeah, to be more downside. So my personal take is this: the Chinese market most likely today will be coming down again. It should be coming down to about 15,339 level. Yeah, it should be coming down to this point itself. So traders, kindly take note of that. Okay. Now the last time we see something like this, if you remember, okay, if you look back at the chart, okay, I think it was somewhere, yeah, around this area. Can you see that? The market was basically rejecting the MA30 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 times, 7, sorry. In total 7 times, then that led to a sell-off where the Chinese stock market went down by almost about nearly about 1,000 points, yeah, from the highest point. So would that actually be happening? Well, if we do a bit of like expectation of the same thing happening, maybe not 1,000 points, maybe to about 800 points. I think most likely the Shanghai market may come down to this point here itself as about 14,800 level. Yep. And of course the MA200 is very clear, showing that the market downside is definitely still there. And the 61.8 is the level that I'm looking at, because that is a very important Fibonacci number. It's at 14,977. Now, because the rest of the market is not open yet, I will skip all those. I will look at the more like the current Dow Jones factor now. Now, for the Dow Jones this morning, Dow Jones now is trading between the two pivot 1 and pivot 2. KSI is a down tick. KSI is red but down tick. That means that the selling pressure is still there, but it's not as heavy as the days ago. So which means that if traders were to short the market, right, do consider to book your profit. Yeah. Now 35,737 is MLP. This level has to stay. If the market loses MLP, it could bring the market back down again to 35,539. That's the first KCP that's nearest to us. Now do note the Plus BNB is still ongoing, and obviously yesterday the market did trade below the BNB SL, but did not close below. Hence, therefore, the BNB SL become our ultimate support, which is in line with the 35,539 KCB level. Yep. Okay, so that is the Dow Jones on the downside. Now, on the upside itself, right, if the market continue to do the seasonal pattern, then 35,927, which is the MA30, will likely be the level that the Dow could be going for today. Yep, 35,927. Now the Nasdaq today opening price is above pivot 1, so in short it should be going higher. But the KSI is a green KSI but down tick. That means the upside is kind of limited. Yep. Now the thing is this, something that you must take note. Yesterday or the 2 days ago, we have a BNB as a high for the Nasdaq, and we also have the cage at the same time. So now the market is trading below close below the cage, right? SL. So by right, the market could be going back down again, because based on what we've seen, whenever the market closed below, for the first time below the cage support level, it will go down again for the next few days towards the same level. So the Nasdaq could be going down to 16,130. Yeah. So watch out for this. Most likely it may actually happen. 16,130 level. Yep. So watch out for that, which actually coincide with the MA30, which is 16153. S&P 500 yesterday did a strong recovery in a doji, and of course today itself, yesterday we have a BNB, so which means that the S&P has to stay above the BNB SL, which is at 4681. If it loses 4681, the first support is 4664 MA30, And then we have for 632 pivot 2, and of course the target I'm always looking at is a BMT, either minus 1 times 1 or plus 1 times 1. It'll be 4616 level. Yeah, so watch out for this. Upside wise, I believe that it's kind of limited, and if you have to go up itself, it has to break the previous high, which is 47.47. Yep, this is something that you must take note. Now, because it's early, the Hang Seng is not open yet, but just a quick recap of Hang Seng. Yesterday, the Hang Seng went down. It was below OP. It was below the opening price when it goes straight lower, and it closed actually at the BMB minus 1 times 1 region. So if the Hang Seng is to drop, okay, which is of course a bit difficult because of the US strong closing, but should it open and trade lower, then 24,247 is still my ultimate target, because it happened to coincide beautifully with the KCB at 24,244. Yep. Now Nikkei, I already told you guys, Nikkei, I'm pretty bearish of it, and it seems that it's happening right now. Yesterday the Nikkei was down initially, then after that when US market came in, it recovers, but it created as a doji as of this morning. So because it's a doji, therefore, right, likely today could be a directional day. Below OP is a sell, and it's happening right now. This morning, the Nikkei, if we take a look at Nikkei now, the Nikkei opened this morning, and it was flat opening price, and now because the cash market opens, it started coming down, right? So I believe that it will go down to the pivot 2 level at 29,456 level, because that's the MA30. If it breaks 465 level, it should be able to come down all the way and to the MA 200 level, and that's 28,895. Yep. Okay, so that's a Nikkei. For DAX itself, yesterday we saw the DAX coming off very strongly already. I already warned you, DAX is a CCYR, it's a BMB at the high, and it will come down. And beautiful, look at DAX. It came down all the way, triggered the 15,889 level. The BMB minus 1 times 1 was given perfectly once again, and I tell you guys, you really have to trust it. And of course, once the market hit 15,889, not only it stopped there, it reversed, because I shared this with you guys. When the market hit the BMB minus 1 times 1 or plus 1 times 1, usually it will either reject or rebound, and indeed it really happened. Yep. Now for DAX, for DAX itself, because I don't have the opening data, I will not comment. Crude oil. Now crude oil is trading higher. I traded higher yesterday, but I believe that it's going to come down again. Now crude oil price, is the opening price today is 78.23. It's between the two pivot. KSI is still red. You can see that over the last 10 days the KSI has been staying red. So I believe that for crude oil, if it stay below OP, it should be coming back down again to test the MLP at 77.29 level. And of course, if it loses that, then 76.82 will be the next level. It should be going right towards to this particular level. And of course, if crude oil price do come down, usually the equity market will follow through, which we saw it the last few days. Yep. Okay, so that is the crude oil crude oil analysis. Okay, so let's look at the commodity market right now, which is gold. Now gold price has already came down quite a fair bit, and today gold price, the pivot 1 is 1792. So as long as the market stays above 1792, that means it's going to be a classic trade for buy, above OP, CCRY buy. The only thing is that KSI and blue ticks are all available, which means that the selling pressure is there. Hence, therefore, if the gold price go higher, likely a KTR plus 1, you should consider to take profit. Yeah, do not go anywhere else. Okay, but of course, if the gold price stays down and it goes below OP, then next level it should be going down towards the chocolate bar level, which is going to be 1768, right? Yeah, 1769. Sorry, that means that it will come down to 1769 rather easily, because it's a fresh chocolate bar. It is very possible for the market to come down all the way to 1769 level. For silver, now silver, I mentioned to you yesterday and the day before, it's a CCYR, it will go down lower. And because silver is less liquid, so definitely if the market sell, it will follow the chocolate bar very well. And of course, it went all the way down to go below $23.78 level. Alright, now for me, for today, silver, you can see that it's actually between the pivot 1 and pivot 2. KSI is still green, although it's down tick. So which means that for crude oil today, for this silver today, if silver can stay up above OP, it will be testing the 23.70 level. Crossing it itself should go back to 23.90 90 cents. But of course, if the market stays below OP, then the downside could stretch back again to $23.15. Yeah. So traders, take note of that for silver. So we have gold, we have silver, we have done the crude oil. Let's look at the last two, which is the Ethereum and the Bitcoin. Now, the thing is this, I suspected that the Ethereum will go down below 4,000 again, but we have a strong rally day before. Alright, and yesterday, a strong sell-off on the day before, but a strong recovery yesterday has brought back the Ethereum back to 4,367. Now, very simply put, if the Ethereum can break 4401, Ethereum should be able to go up all the way to 4551. On a flip note, if the market stays down and stay below OP, then most likely it will be testing again at 3999 level, yeah, 3999 level for the Ethereum. Now this level have been a very strong support, 39990. So this could be the 3999, yeah, 0.0, or pick it 4000 to be simple. The 4000 level seems to be a very strong milestone and support. Watch out for that. A pullback to this at 4000 can consider a buy. Yep. Okay, so that is the Ethereum. Let's look at Bitcoin, shall we? Now for Bitcoin itself, right, there are people asking me, can we buy soon? I keep on reminding you guys, wait for a while, because I believe that yesterday's Bitcoin, when it recovered to sell, right, was more of the retailers. There's no very big boys doing that. So in short, based on what I'm seeing like KSI now, the selling and the market has reduced, so you can come back to look at the market for the long side again. But the blue bars are still actively there, so any pullback below 57 to 55,000 for a quick buy is possible for time being, yeah, but it will not last too long. Okay, so that is the Bitcoin. So watch out for 57034, that's MLP. If it goes down further, it may go down all the way to about 54,100 plus to 200 plus, which means that it's actually telling me and giving me a warning over here itself. Yep. So this is what we look at it, and that is silver for you. And I basically have covered everything, guys. So I sincerely hope that you enjoyed this MAO. Sorry if it's being recorded because I got things to do today. So please key your answers for the initial jobless claim figure right now until 12 noon, because 12 noon it will be the cutoff time. Okay. So I hope you will do all your best and make lots of money. This is Cal signing off for today. Take care. Bye bye.